Yes, ma'am.
I had a proclamation for Family Court Awareness Month.
For what?
Family Court Awareness Month.
Come on up. Sorry I didn't know about that one when we were doing the other ones.
That's okay. I thought maybe I'd quieted that with my 2 children. So you don't have that in front of you, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, Mayor DeWitt and the Council of Hawkins County, I want to introduce myself. I'm Heather Swift. I'm a child safety advocate. I'm also a mother. I'm also a professor of nursing as well, and a victim and survivor of domestic violence and post-separation abuse. What brings me here today is being an advocate for child safety, bringing awareness to the serious child safety issues that are happening in the family court system. About 3 years ago, I ended up in family court with a 6-week-old and a 2-year-old. And I'm safely assumed that the professionals would have the best interests of the children at heart, and certainly keep them safe and secure. What I didn't know was that it was going to be the hardest task I'd ever done, and I'm still doing it. I had no idea that the courts are ruling consistently on parent equity instead of child safety and well-being. Very few child custody cases are actually disputed. Factually speaking, more times than not, it is a case that involves domestic violence and child abuse that actually goes to court. And that's the child's last chance for safety. When I started this advocacy journey, the number of murdered children by a divorced and separated parent in 2020 was 758. 1 year later, in 2021, it was 811. Today, in 2022, it's 864. 16 of those are teenage children. A few more statistics that I wanted to share is 1 in 15 children are victims of child abuse, and that's usually done by a family member or a parent. Domestic violence often worsens after separation and divorce, and the focus turns on the child or the children, with 60% of perpetrators who abuse their spouse will abuse their child. Less than 2% of child abuse allegations in a court is false. However, the court takes into consideration less than 25% of those. This leads me to my most mind-boggling statistic from the Family Court Outcome Study through George Washington University, where abusive parents are more likely to seek sole custody than nonviolent ones, and they're successful 70% of the time. A very conservative estimate is approximately 58,000 children are placed in knowingly abusive homes every year, which correlates to the most recent completed child fatality report in Tennessee through the Department of Children's Services, where 74 children died by homicide. 43% of those were in their own home. Most would be shocked to know that in many states, family court judges can sit on the bench with no continuing education requirements in domestic violence or child abuse. That's not to say they didn't have education. It's saying that there's no continuing education in that field. And in fact, per the State of Tennessee Department of Human Resources, the only profession required to have required training or education is your hairdresser. And that was just a law that occurred last year. And it's just 1 hour per year. So Family Court Awareness goal is to shine a spotlight on the need for training for all family court professionals involved in these life-altering decisions. And then to enable, by the education, to enable trauma-informed decisions to be made. Children's lives are literally dependent on it, and the court's becoming educated on these issues so our children have an opportunity to live a life free of abuse. So Mayor DeWitt, I appreciate you taking the time to proclaim November as Family Court Awareness Month, and I'd like to see Hawkins County proclaim every month of November as Family Court Awareness.
We will make that happen. Thank you so much.